All right, it's been a while since I've done this, so Idaho Q&A, here we go. Hello, you guys, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Rebecca. I'm a realtor based here in southeastern Idaho, and I make videos every single week talking about all things life in eastern Idaho, things to do here, tips for buying or selling, things to know about moving here, pretty much anything in general under the sun when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I am doing an Idaho Q&A today. I haven't done this in a little bit, and I posted a question box on my Instagram the other day and got some questions for you guys all about living in Idaho, Idaho Falls in general. So let's jump on in. I'm going to answer them one by one. Okay, so the first question I got was, is the traffic bad in Idaho? I was actually just talking about this with a client the other day, so that's funny. And I was telling them that this question is a little bit funny to me, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, especially if you're moving from a bigger city or a big city in general, the thought of traffic in Idaho is a little bit funny because there is like no traffic in Idaho. I was telling her that I've had conversations with people who've lived here their entire lives, and they complain about the traffic just because obviously the area has grown a lot in that time, but it is definitely not terrible at all. The worst traffic that we get here is like if you're stuck behind a tractor on like a 1 or 2 lane road and it just takes a little bit to get around them. But no, we really do not have much traffic here. There's not really like a rush hour. Obviously there's more traffic when people are going to work or coming from work, but traffic jams and sitting in traffic are virtually never ever an issue here. So if that's a concern about moving to Idaho, specifically eastern Idaho in general, do not be worried about that. It is not a problem at all. Okay, the next question I got was what colleges are around Idaho Falls or in Idaho in general. I actually have a video on this, so I will link it up here wherever it goes if you want to see more about the colleges here, but Idaho has quite a few colleges. Here in eastern Idaho, we have Idaho State University, which is in Pocatello. We have BYU Idaho, which is in Rexburg. We have the College of Eastern Idaho, which is a community college here in Idaho Falls. And then obviously in western Idaho, there's a bunch over there too. There's Boise State, there is the University of Idaho, there's Lewis and Clark. There is a lot, like I said, of colleges in Idaho, especially if you're looking around like Utah and Montana and all of those areas too. There's definitely no shortage of colleges around here. Okay, the next question I got was someone asking if there are many houses with pools around Idaho Falls, southeastern Idaho in general, I guess. Not really. Pools aren't really a huge thing here because summers aren't like crazy hot. We do have a few weeks that are probably like around 90, and that's definitely the hottest time of year. But not many people have actual in-ground pools here. A lot of people will have above ground pools that they just pull out for the summer to let their kids play in or whatever. But if you're looking for a house with an actual built-in like in-ground pool, that's not super common here. You can find it, of course, but it's not something huge here like it is other places, obviously. Okay, the next question was, is there a mall in Idaho Falls? There is a mall. It's the Grand Teton Mall. It is not the greatest mall. It's just old and there's not a ton of stores in it. I've only been to the mall here like 2 or 3 times probably. A lot of people use it to walk around in the winter just to get some exercise. It's not terrible. There's like a Barnes & Noble and a Dillard's and a JCPenney and like a Victoria's Secret and a few things like that in there. But obviously if you're used to bigger malls in bigger cities, it's not gonna really compete with that. Yeah, that's my answer on that. There is a mall, but it's not the greatest. Okay, this is a hot one. It's, do people really hate Californians moving there? I get this question a lot from people that I talk to, and I always tell them I feel like this is a little bit more of a stereotype than it really is. If you're from like California or somewhere like that, it's not like you're going to be run out of town or anything like that. Obviously people here just really like the way Idaho is and they don't want it changed. And so if you're moving here and you might not necessarily align with a lot of the values that people share here, that might be a little bit of a problem. But like I keep saying too, Idaho Falls is growing and it is getting a little bit more diverse in those types of things. So no, the shorter answer is no. People don't hate Californians with the passion of people moving here, but if you're moving here to try to change things, that's when people get a little bit upset about it. Okay, the next one is, what are the parks like here, or are there parks here? I can't tell how this question is worded. I'll just answer both. There are a lot of parks, all over Idaho in general. Idaho Falls has a ton of parks. Parks are really big here, actually. They're really well taken care of. There's a lot of like events and things like that are held at the parks here, especially in the warmer months. Coming up soon, we have like a bunch of Easter eggs that are being held at the parks, and around like 4th of July, there's a ton of things at parks, and pretty much every season or holiday, there's things like that to go do. My favorite park, I don't know if it would technically be categorized as a park, but it's like the Greenbelt, down around downtown by the river. It's beautiful. But yeah, all of the parks here are really well taken care of. Almost all of them have like swing sets and things like that for kids to play on. All sorts of things like that. Really great parks here. So yeah, there is a few questions in general about Idaho Falls. I hope that was fun and maybe you learned something about the area. As always, if you guys have any questions on any of this, feel free to drop them below, send me an email, connect with me on social media, whatever you want to do. I'm always happy to help you guys out. And until my next video, I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.